Hello, Alabama. Ackle and Deere picked Alabama and Ole Miss, and Mississippi State lost to Bama. After all, the guy chose Bama. Let's talk more about that, but first subscribe to the channel to receive the news. Five-star running back Ackle and Deere's recent commitment to Alabama represents more than just the addition of an elite player to the roster. It symbolizes the continuation of a tradition of excellence that the Alabama Crimson Tide has maintained for decades. With Nick Saban retiring, many question whether Alabama could maintain its dominance in recruiting and on-field performance. However, the arrival of Kalen DeBoer as head coach has brought new excitement and renewed expectations for the team, especially when it comes to securing high-level talent like Deere. Ackle and Deere, one of the top prospects in the country, not only chose Alabama over programs like Ole Miss and Mississippi State, but also reaffirmed the confidence of elite recruits in the direction of the program under DeBoer. This commitment is particularly significant considering Deere had previously committed to Ole Miss, which adds an extra layer of meaning to his decision to join the Crimson Tide. Quitman High School's prominence is more than just a promise. He is a player with proven skills and a unique ability to immediately impact the game. As described by Cooper Patagna of 247 Sports, Deere displays a rare combination of patience and vision at the line of scrimmage, coupled with an explosiveness that can change the momentum of the game in a matter of seconds. His ability to find hidden yards and gain additional ground after contact is something that will certainly be taken advantage of by Alabama's offensive scheme. By bringing Ackle and Deere to Tuscaloosa, Kalen DeBoer sends a clear message that Alabama will not only continue to be a dominant force in recruiting, but is also prepared to evolve and adapt to the challenges of modern college football. Deere joins an already talented group of running backs. Deere's commitment also reflects DeBoer's ability to compete and win recruiting battles against traditional Southeastern programs, something that is essential to keeping Alabama at the top. DeBoer's reputation as a talent developer and his ability to connect with young athletes were critical factors in this recruiting victory, showing that he is more than prepared to follow in Saban's footsteps. Furthermore, Deere's commitment is a sign that Alabama hasn't lost its appeal as a final destination for the nation's top talent, even after the departure of a legend like Nick Saban. DeBoer has already demonstrated that he can maintain Alabama's tradition of excellence, and Deere's recruitment only confirms that. While DeBoer is still in the early stages of his career at Alabama, each commitment from a player like Ackle and Deere builds confidence in the direction of the program. With Alabama currently ranked as the second-best recruiting group in the 247 Sports Composite rankings, it is evident that DeBoer is building a solid foundation for the future that will not only maintain, but potentially raise the bar already established. Let's move on, guys. With the expansion of the playoffs, the college football landscape is changing, and Alabama is positioning itself to continue its tradition of excellence, now under DeBoer's leadership. The naming of 4 captains for this season, QB Jalen Milroe, LB Deontay Lawson, OL Tyler Booker and DB Malachi Moore, reflects the continuation of a culture of leadership and commitment that has always defined the program. When Nick Saban announced his retirement in January, the college football world felt a tremor. Not only did Saban turn Alabama into a powerhouse, he also shaped modern college football. Therefore, the transition to a new coach would always be accompanied by high expectations and immense pressure. Greg Byrne, the athletic director, was prepared for this moment. The decision to hire Kalen DeBoer, a coach with a proven track record of success, especially after guiding the Washington Huskies to a 14-1 record in a national championship berth in 2023, was a strategic move that showcased Byrne's vision for the future of Alabama. DeBoer, known for his player-oriented approach, quickly integrated himself into the team and the Tuscaloosa community. In a short time, he has not only earned the respect of the players, but also solidified the confidence that Alabama is in good hands. The appointment of captains Jalen Milroe, Deontay Lawson, Tyler Booker and Malachi Moore is a testament to that trust. These players, who decided to remain at Alabama despite changes in leadership, exemplify the resilience and dedication that define the program. Jalen Milroe, the quarterback who will be the face of Alabama's offense this season, has demonstrated maturity beyond his years. His leadership in the locker room and his performance on the field made him a natural choice for captain. Milroe not only carries the responsibility of leading the offense, but also of being the symbol of the new era under DeBoer. With the support of Deontay Lawson, Tyler Booker and Malachi Moore, Milroe will have a solid foundation to guide the Crimson Tide to success. Deontay Lawson, the linebacker, brings an intensity and work ethic that inspires his teammates. He is viewed as the anchor of the defense, and his ability to read the game and make adjustments on the fly will be crucial to the success of Alabama's defensive unit this season. Lawson not only leads by example, but also has the voice that commands respect and attention in the locker room. Tyler Booker, the leader of the offensive line, is an example of consistency and technique. Alabama's offensive line has always been one of the most feared in college football, and with Booker at the helm, the tradition is destined to continue. His appointment as captain is a recognition of his ability to unite and lead a unit that will be vital in protecting Milroe and paving the way for the land game. Malachi Moore, the defensive back, is the type of player who demonstrates the Alabama spirit. His versatility and ability to make big plays in critical moments made him a key piece on the Crimson Tide defense. As captain, Moore will have the responsibility of ensuring Alabama's secondary continues to be a dominant force against any opponent. Choosing these four captains was not just a technical decision, but also a statement about the values that Kalen DeBoer and the Alabama program intend to uphold and promote. These players represent the perfect balance of talent, leadership, and commitment to Alabama tradition. They will be at the center of every battle the Crimson Tide will face this season, and their names are already etched in Tuscaloosa's rich history. Let's move on, friends. After all, Bama is going to grow a lot. King Mack's arrival at the Alabama Crimson Tide marks a significant boost to the team's secondary, especially in a year of transition under new head coach Kalen DeBoer. Mack, a transfer from Penn State, is already making his mark in fall practice with 2 impressive pick sixes in consecutive scrimmages. These feats highlight not only his talent, but also his quick adaptation to coordinator Kane Wommack's defensive scheme. Mack, who excelled in his freshman season at Penn State, is a player with traits that mesh perfectly with Alabama's new defensive philosophy. Wommack's 4-2-5 swarm requires fast, physical and instinctive players, qualities that Mack demonstrates naturally. His ability to read the game, combined with his speed and aggression, makes him a valuable piece for the Alabama defense. Devonta Smith, one of the team's leaders, highlighted Mack's physicality and instincts, praising his ability to make big plays when it matters most. King is a very fast guy, very physical, has very good instincts, Smith said. He definitely, I would say, has really good instincts. He goes to get the ball. These words from Smith reflect the immediate impact Mack is having, not only in terms of performance but also the trust his teammates have in him. The transition to Wommack's system is not easy, especially for a newcomer. However, Mack appears to be adjusting quickly, absorbing the principles of the defense and applying them effectively. Wommack expressed his satisfaction with Mack's adaptation, praising his ability to raise the level of play in scrimmage situations. "I'm very pleased with the way he played on defense," said Wommack, noting that Mack is a very instinctive football player, capable of making big plays at critical moments. Mack, with his track record as one of the top safeties in the 2023 recruiting class, brings a combination of youth and experience that will be crucial for Alabama this season. Although he is new to the program, he has already completely integrated himself into the team, as emphasized by Smith. "They're a part of us. They've been here as long as I've been here. That's how we see them," Smith said, referring to Mack and the other players who recently joined the team. With the season about to begin, Mack is positioned to play a significant role on Alabama's defense, even if his exact position in the starting rotation is still up in the air. Wommack made it clear that players like Mack will have the opportunity to prove themselves on the field, gaining experience and growing throughout the season. This is part of DeBoer's strategy to develop young talent and build a defense that can hold its own against any opponent. Alabama's first challenge this season will be against Western Kentucky, and while it's unknown exactly where Mack will be lined up on game day, it's certain he'll see significant action. His presence brings a new dynamic to the Alabama secondary, a unit that, under the leadership of players like Malachi Moore, and now with the addition of talent like King Mack, promises to be one of the team's strengths this season. King Mack is a guy to keep an eye on. What's your opinion of him? At the end of the video, you comment. The Alabama Crimson Tide's second fall scrimmage, held the other day, was an event marked by an intensity rarely seen outside of season games. The defense, in particular, brought a physicality that not only impressed the coaches, but also served as a defining moment for many players who were still battling for their first-team positions. As Coach Kalen DeBoer emphasized, this was undoubtedly the most intense scrimmage of the entire offseason, eclipsing even A-Day in terms of intensity and competitiveness. Defensive coordinator Kane Womack, a veteran of this team, couldn't remember a more hard-hitting scrimmage in his career, which highlights the level of commitment and seriousness with which the players approached this opportunity. It wasn't just a workout, it was an authentic game day simulation, where jobs were won and lost, as Womack put it. The pressure was at its peak, and the players knew this was their last chance to show they deserved a place in the starting lineup before the official start of the season. This relentless approach was no coincidence. With the start of the season approaching and some positions still open, the players realized that they could not leave anything to chance. In defense, especially, the intensity was raised to a new level. The scrimmage was designed to test players' physical and mental toughness, and they responded in kind, delivering the kind of performance that defines someone who is ready for the rigors of college football at Alabama. The battle for the bandit position, for example, continues to be fierce, with LT Overton and Jamarian Latham competing to establish themselves as the top option. This position, crucial in pass pressure situations, will be key to Alabama's defense, and both Overton and Latham are aware that every play, every tackle, could be the difference between starting week 1 or being relegated to the bench. Other defensive positions, such as outside linebacker and cornerback, are also in the definition phase. Limited experience in these areas means that performance in scrimmages like Saturdays is essential for players hoping to excel. Veteran defensive lineman Tim Smith mentioned that for younger players, the adrenaline of that last scrimmage before the season can be especially high. And rightly so, for many of them, this was their final chance to impress the coaches before the final decision on the starting lineup was made. The veterans didn't let it go either. In the secondary, some of the toughest hits of the day came from experienced players who were determined to set the tone for the rest of the team. These veterans know that time for adjustments is running out and that the opening game against Western Kentucky will be different. Womack noted that he saw another level of intensity in the players, something he hadn't witnessed yet this offseason. That level of commitment and aggressiveness is exactly what Alabama needs to maintain its reputation as one of the most feared defenses in college football. Is this team ready? We'll see soon, I hope so. Courtney Morgan's recent salary increase as Alabama's football general manager underscores the strategic importance he holds within the program, especially under the new leadership of head coach Kalen DeBoer. The approval of an exponential 65% salary raise, elevating his compensation to $825,000 by 2025, is a clear indication of the significant impact Morgan has made since his arrival in Tuscaloosa. His contract, which initially offered $500,000 annually, was renegotiated in an astonishingly short span of just 5 months, reflecting the unwavering confidence DeBoer places in Morgan. Taking on the role shortly after DeBoer was hired in January, Morgan is far from a mere support staff member. He is a central figure in Alabama's continued success, particularly during this delicate transition period following Nick Saban's retirement. From day one, Morgan played a vital role in maintaining roster cohesion during a crucial transfer portal window, a time when the Crimson Tide could have faced significant talent losses. His meticulous work and adeptness at navigating the complexities of modern recruiting were instrumental in ensuring that Alabama remained a top destination for the nation's best players. Morgan's recruiting expertise isn't just about retaining talent, he has also been a key player in assembling the current 2025 recruiting class, which ranks as the second best in the country. This achievement is even more impressive considering the fierce competition Alabama faces from other elite programs. Morgan's ability to identify, attract, and secure commitments from top-tier players is one of the reasons he has become one of the most valued members of the program. The salary increase, which will see Morgan earning more than several on-field assistant coaches for the Crimson Tide, reflects the evolving role of a general manager in modern college football. Once viewed as a purely administrative position, the role is now recognized for its strategic importance, particularly in top-tier programs like Alabama, where recruiting and talent management are crucial to sustain success. The fact that Morgan previously worked with DeBoer at Washington only strengthens the trust between them. They have built an effective partnership that is now being replicated at Alabama, where expectations are perpetually high. Morgan was DeBoer's first hire after his arrival, which is no coincidence. DeBoer knew he would need someone he could rely on to navigate the challenges of recruiting and player retention, especially in such a competitive environment as Alabama college football. With his strategic vision and ability to execute, Morgan is an indispensable asset to this team. We hope he continues to thrive at Bama. The departure of talents like Dallas Turner and Chris Braswell has left the Alabama Crimson Tide with significant gaps on defense, particularly at the edge rusher position, which has been a dominant force in recent years. With these players now heading to the NFL, the pressure is on new defensive coordinator Kane Womack and outside linebackers coach Christian Robinson to find suitable replacements and keep Alabama's defense performing at the highest level. Turner and Braswell, along with Will Anderson, formed a formidable trio that wreaked havoc on opposing offenses. With their departures, the challenge of maintaining effectiveness on the edge now falls on players who, while talented, still need to prove they can handle the responsibility that these roles demand. However, Robinson has expressed confidence in his group, stating that they are ready to let loose and play. Robinson emphasized that the preparation and mindset of the players are crucial during this transitional period. He mentioned that while the team is aware of the pressure, they are more motivated than ever to prove their worth on the field. The enthusiasm and readiness of the players were evident during preseason practices, and Robinson believes that this mindset will be critical when the season kicks off. Keanu Coate and Robinson, both veterans, have been named as the new leaders of the position. Robinson, a redshirt senior, and Coate, a redshirt junior, are tasked with leading the new generation of Alabama's outside linebackers. Coate, who played a more secondary role last season, is being groomed to take on a prominent position, and Robinson praised his adaptation to the new role, known as the Wolf in Womack's defense. This position not only requires the player to be an effective edge rusher but also to have the ability to drop into coverage, adding an extra layer of complexity to the role. In addition to the veterans, Robinson highlighted the potential of two younger players who could become key pieces in Alabama's defense this season, Qua Rousseau and Ihanzi Pierre. Rousseau, a highly anticipated name, is seen as someone who can make significant contributions from the outset. Pierre, on the other hand, has impressed the coaching staff with his performance in practice, earning the trust to be called upon for a substantial role. The transition to game-specific preparation is underway, and Robinson and Womack are fine-tuning the game plan to maximize the abilities of their new starters. The challenge will be considerable, but Alabama, under DeBoer's new leadership and with a defense being reshaped by Womack, has a tradition of overcoming such adversities. The Crimson Tide's defense, long one of the most feared in college football, is in a period of renewal. Replacing players of Turner's and Braswell's caliber is no simple task, but Alabama boasts a depth of talent that few programs can match. So let's believe in the potential of these guys. And speaking of KoolAid McKinney, a familiar face from Bama. The news that KoolAid McKinney, former Alabama cornerback and current New Orleans Saints player, avoided a severe knee injury is a huge relief for the team and its fans. McKinstry, who made a name for himself at Alabama as one of the top defenders in his class, is seen as a crucial piece for the Saints' defense, especially in a preseason already marked by injuries to other key players in the secondary. The incident occurred during the preseason game against the San Francisco 49ers when McKinstry suffered an injury after 49ers wide receiver Trent Taylor inadvertently rolled over his leg. The cornerback played only 5 snaps before being forced to leave the field, leaving the team and fans concerned about the severity of the situation. With injuries already impacting other important defenders like Marshawn Lattimore and Paulson Adebo, the possibility of also losing McKinstry would have been a significant blow to the Saints' defensive plans. Fortunately, according to NFL insider Jordan Schultz, the injury was not as serious as initially feared. This news comes as a significant relief to head coach Dennis Allen and defensive coordinator Joe Woods, who are counting on McKinstry to keep the secondary competitive and ready to face opposing offenses. McKinstry, with his coverage skills and aggressiveness, was expected to have an immediate impact on the Saints' defense, and his health is crucial to the team's ambitions this season. The optimism surrounding McKinstry's recovery suggests that he might be available for the season opener against the Carolina Panthers, which would also set up an interesting reunion with his former Alabama teammate, Bryce Young, now the Panthers quarterback. McKinstry's presence on the field would not only boost the team in terms of talent but also instill confidence in a defense that will need to be at its best to start the season on the right foot. McKinstry's situation is a reminder of how unpredictable and challenging the transition from college football to the NFL can be. Every snap is a battle, and the ability to stay healthy is just as crucial as performance on the field. For the Saints, McKinstry's recovery is welcome news amid a backdrop of uncertainties on defense, and the hope is that he can continue his trajectory as effectively as he did at Alabama. We're rooting for this guy. Linebacker Ty Jackson, one of the most coveted prospects in the 2025 class, is preparing to return to Tuscaloosa on September 28 to attend Alabama's home game against Georgia. With an impressive track record at Seminole Ridge High School in Loxahatchee, Florida, Jackson has been the focus of intense recruitment among the nation's top college football programs. His most recent visit to Alabama on June 21 appears to have strengthened the mutual interest, and the upcoming visit during one of the season's biggest games could be a turning point in his recruitment process. In his junior year, Jackson stood out by recording 135 tackles, forcing 5 fumbles, and showcasing exceptional coverage skills with 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns. His ability to play sideline to sideline, combined with his speed and instincts, makes him a versatile and formidable linebacker. Beyond his defensive prowess, Jackson can also contribute on offense as a wide receiver, highlighting his athletic versatility. With the recent departure of Jaden Harmon, another 4-star linebacker from the 2025 class, to Tennessee, Jackson's value to Alabama has increased even more. Harmon's loss was a significant blow to a linebacker group already facing challenges in depth and experience. The Crimson Tide's linebacker room is led by Jihad Campbell and Deontay Lawson, both considered preseason candidates for the Butkus Award. However, aside from these 2 juniors, the group largely consists of younger and less experienced players, making the addition of a talent like Jackson all the more crucial. Head coach Kalen DeBoer and his staff are well aware of the importance of securing Jackson's commitment, especially in a landscape where competition for his talents is fierce. According to On3's recruiting prediction machine, Alabama currently leads the race but by a narrow margin of 25.2%. Jackson's visit in September, in an atmosphere that promises to be electric with Georgia on the field, will be a golden opportunity for the Crimson Tide to solidify their position as the frontrunner. While Jackson's recruitment process is far from over, with planned visits to other programs such as Florida, USC, Florida State, Penn State, and possibly Tennessee, Alabama knows that each interaction with the player could be decisive. Will he choose to join the Crimson Tide? Let's wait and see. What's your opinion? Leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe.